Hello everyone, thank you so much for being here. If you found this film, all that I ask is you at least watch all the way to the end of video 1, the first 6 minutes or so, to get a good feel for what we're doing here at Climate Change Realty.
My name is Ethan Meyer Shapiro. Some of you may know me, and some of you may not. My grandfather, Meyer Shapiro, was an airman in World War II. He fought against what we called the enemy at the time. After the war ended, Meyer started his own business, electronics repair shop, which gave him the livelihood to raise a family of 5. In 1990, his youngest child, my father, along with the help of my mother, started his own business, a traveling jewelry store that donates 15 to 20% of all earnings to local hospitals in exchange for the opportunity to sell their merchandise on site. This venture was the reason I was able to receive a Bachelor's of Science in Business Administration from the University of Colorado Boulder. My degree emphasis, entrepreneurship. However, my personal emphasis during that time, discovery. Who am I? What should I do? And how should I do it? The answer? Climate Change Realty. I am on a mission to change the way people think about business. 19th century French historian Alexis de Tocqueville discusses what makes America so unique in his work, Democracy in America. In his text, Tocqueville sheds light on a concept called enlightened self-interest. This is the theory that an individual who acts to further the interests of others ultimately serves their own self-interest. I take this a step further and say, at the deepest and most fulfilling level, businesses succeed when they provide value to their customers. But the most pressing question on your mind is probably, why should I do business with Climate Change Realty? Allow me to answer this question with a quote from one of my most powerful mentors, Simon Sinek. Because the work we're doing today is better than the work we were doing 6 months ago. And the work we'll be doing 6 months from now is better than the work we're doing today. Are we better than the competition? If you believe what we believe, and you believe what we're doing can help you, then we're better. If you don't believe what we believe, and you don't believe what we're doing can help you, then we're not better. Our goal is to find customers that believe what we believe and work together so that we can all succeed. We're looking for people to stand shoulder to shoulder with us in pursuit of the same goal. I made this film to show you what I believe and to tell you what I'm going to do about it. I am powered by my personal why, which is to do what obviously needs to be done so that I can live a purposeful life. Only when you consider others before yourself can you truly serve yourself at the deepest and most fulfilling level. I know that. I've lived it. Now that you know a bit about the founder of Climate Change Realty, you are well equipped to understand the mission statement of this company. This company, as any good company should be, is first and foremost about service. We serve our customers, we serve our team members, but most importantly, we serve the global community, past, present, and future. Our mission is to create a business-oriented solution to the most pressing challenges of our time so that future generations can focus on the distinct challenges of their time. Now, let me make this clear. I don't know for sure, I don't have all the answers, and I never will. But I have a feeling that something is not right.
According to a 2019 UN report, the current rate of global species extinction is at least 10 times, if not 100 times, higher than the average rate of species extinction over the last 10 million years. In simple terms, we are currently living through a global mass extinction event. The evidence is all around us. There are roughly 8 million different species of plants and animals on Earth. About 1 million of them are currently at risk of extinction.
I'm sorry, everyone. I don't want to do this. I don't want to be here messing with your life. I hate scare tactics and consistently do my absolute best to avoid any sort of fear-based motivation. Anyone who knows me will tell you, I'm an optimist, very often to my own folly, but we're living through an unprecedented moment in history where we have the opportunity to save not only our own lives, but quite literally the lives of billions and billions of organisms here on this planet. Just like how our grandparents served in World War II to defeat the enemy, it's now our turn to defeat the enemy. But this time, it's something much more difficult for people to rally around. We must defeat the enemy within ourselves. If you do absolutely nothing but choose Climate Change Realty to facilitate your real estate transaction, or even refer you a local agent in your area if you're not from Boulder, I assure you, you're making all the difference in the world. And if you do want to do even more, I'm more than happy to connect you to the best resources that I can find. If everything I've said so far, all the transparency I've offered, all of the unscripted, raw, and genuine content I've put out on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, through the mail and my handwritten notes, 201-961-2165, the ability to call me at any time and gauge my character, testimonials from anyone who has met me personally in or outside of Boulder is still not enough for you to trust me with a task like this. At that point, I honestly don't know what else I can say to convince you besides, well, just wait and see. Released along with this video series would be a full page of completely transparent information from me on my website. Our solution to the most pressing challenges of our time is to operate a real estate corporation which donates 50% of the money that comes through this entity, not just profits, income, to organizations dedicated to fighting climate change, while simultaneously utilizing the remaining 50% to foster a unique company culture which is firmly dedicated to the principles of enlightened self-interest. Do I know exactly which organizations are going to receive this funding and how much they're going to receive? No. Do I know exactly how to personally maximize each dollar to mitigate the most devastating effects of climate change? No. Am I going to stand here and tell you that I'm a perfectly righteous, infallible hero? No way. But here's what I can tell you. Am I working harder than 99% of people? Yes. Do I believe in what I'm doing? Yeah. Do I enjoy what I'm doing every single day? Absolutely. Do I need help? Oh, fuck yeah, I do. I host a weekly podcast every Thursday where I'm actively searching for the answers to the questions we all have about solving the massively complex and socially focused problem that is average global temperature rise caused primarily by CO2 emissions in the atmosphere, i.e. climate change. Follow wherever you like to listen to podcasts. Each year, the organizations or the ratios in which these organizations receive the donations may change. But how much of Climate Change Realty's earnings are donated will never change. In the last 30 years, my parents' jewelry store has donated millions of dollars to medical centers across the tri-state area. Climate Change Realty is set out to close $50 million in sales by the end of 2021. This will allow us to donate somewhere north of $600,000 at the beginning of the following year. If you want to learn more about exactly how we're going to accomplish this at Climate Change Realty, please stay with me for part 2. Or if you're already sold on our model and considering making a move, you can skip straight to part 5 to learn about our marketing and sales services. If you're looking to purchase a home in Boulder, please call me today, 201-961-2165. Thank you for your interest in learning more. Here's how the financial model will work at Climate Change Realty using round numbers and average commission rates. If you're not interested in the finances and would like to learn more about the day-to-day work of the company, feel free to continue on to part 3.
In this example, Climate Change Realty will be representing an individual looking to sell a property. Let's say we sell the property in question for $1 million. 6% of that $1 million, or $60,000, will be paid by the seller as a fee for the broker services provided. The real estate professional who represents the buyer in the transaction will be paid 2.8% of that $1 million, or $28,000. This is subtracted from the total fee of $60,000 paid by the seller, leaving 3.2% of the $1 million, or $32,000, to be paid to Climate Change Realty for listing and selling the property. To try to keep it simple, let's also assume it costs $1,200 to pay for photography, internet marketing, and everything else required to be paid in advance to facilitate the successful sale of the property. At this time, Climate Change Realty operates as an independent contractor for Coldwell Banker Residential Brokerage. Coldwell Banker will collect the $32,000 owed to Climate Change Realty and then pay out this fee to Climate Change Realty minus yet another fee called a commission split. Let's say in this example, Coldwell Banker will keep 15% of that $32,000, or $4,800. So in this example, when a home sells for $1 million, Coldwell Banker will receive $32,000 on behalf of Climate Change Realty. Climate Change Realty was required to pay $1,200 out of pocket to facilitate the transaction. Coldwell Banker will pay Climate Change Realty $32,000 minus $4,800. So when the home sells, Climate Change Realty will receive $27,200. In this example, net commissions would be $26,000, which is $32,000 minus the commission split of $4,800 and minus the $1,200 of required costs, which are paid out of pocket by Climate Change Realty and not covered by Coldwell Banker. Before reaching the net commissions figure of $26,000, First, we subtract a commission split, assuming there is one. This is negotiated between Climate Change Realty and Coldwell Banker. We also subtract the out-of-pocket costs required to be paid before the sale of the property can be completed. These are not costs associated with growing the Climate Change Realty brand, or even the cost of doing business like rental payments, phone bills, or car payments. These are the costs directly associated with the sale of the specific property in question. $1,200 might be broken down, for example, into $300 for professional photography, $300 for professional staging, $300 for internet marketing, and $300 for print marketing. Costs like this are not included in the 15% commission split fee received by Coldwell Banker and are paid out of pocket by Climate Change Realty, not the seller.
At the time of closing, the net commission earnings of $26,000 received by Climate Change Realty will be immediately cut in half, always strictly setting aside a full 50% of net commissions to be donated at the beginning of the following year. So in this example, with a $1 million sale, you can expect a $13,000 donation, half of $26,000 to fight climate change. As founder and manager, my pay will be based on no more than a 5% share of all net commissions. So in this example, I would receive 5% of $26,000 or $1,300 as personal compensation. The idea is for every $1 I earn personally, $10 are donated. As the company grows, this figure of a 5% share of all net commissions paid to me personally will increase under no circumstances. And beyond employee benefits, this will be the only form of compensation I will receive, besides fulfillment, of course. So, we have 50% of all net commissions donated to fight climate change. We have 5% of all net commissions paid to me personally in the form of a salary, leaving 45% of net commissions, or $11,700 in our example, left to cover business expenses and support the overall mission of the company, creating a business-oriented solution to the most pressing challenges of our time so that future generations can focus on the distinct challenges of their time. In the future, if our team determines that my salary of a full 5% share of all net commissions is actually detrimental to the overall mission of the company, then this figure will be adjusted accordingly. This is about impact, not compensation.
Using the same example metrics from before, when Climate Change Realty sells $50 million worth of real estate at an earned commission rate of 3.2% minus a 15% commission split taken by Coldwell Banker, the funds received would be $1,360,000. Yet again, to keep it simple, let's say the out-of-pocket costs required to sell the properties were $60,000 for the year. For example, 50 homes were sold where the required fees were $1,200. This would equate to net commissions of $1,300,000. Using the Climate Change Realty model, this would mean a donation of $650,000 the following year, a founder salary of $65,000, and $585,000 left over to cover business expenses and support the overall mission of the company. Last year, real estate transactions in Boulder totaled about $1,463,000,000. Come on, everyone. We're talking about less than a 3.5% share of sales volume to donate more than $500,000 in a single year. And that's just the start. You can be a part of this. If you want to learn more about how we will achieve this figure in 2021 and what the remaining 45% of all earnings will be used for, please continue on to part 3. I'm so glad that you're intrigued about how we do things. Get ready for a deep dive on this one. Climate Change Realty's business model is unique in its use of profits, as described in the previous section. Most real estate sales companies will simply use the vast majority of their net commissions to pay their owners. Though our model for income distribution is unique, our foundational model for business organization and growth is actually quite simple and has been utilized by thousands of successful realtors before us. In 2003, Gary Keller, co-founder of Keller Williams, released a book called The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. In his book, Keller uses thousands of data points collected from decades of business experience and detailed discussions with thousands of top producing realtors in the USA to craft a template for building a successful real estate sales company from the ground up. Since my first day in business, I've done my absolute best to follow this book to the T. This book instructs the real estate salesperson to focus on leads, listings, and leverage by utilizing 4 primary models for business growth and success. The economic model, which tells you where the money should come from, where the money should go, and how much money should be left over. The lead generation model, which tells you how to prospect your client base, how often you should contact them, and how many of these prospects should turn into sales.
the budget model, which tells you how to track and organize your funds, and finally, the organizational model, which tells you how to structure your organization, what type of roles you'll need, and what type of person would be a best fit for each role. If you've reached this video, odds are you've fallen victim to my lead generation model. For Climate Change Realty, everyone in Boulder's a lead because everyone needs a place to live. I know, you need a target demographic and all that stuff too, but just hear me out. You're either part of my have met group or you're part of my haven't met group. My goal is to place as many residents in Boulder as possible into my have met group. And this is how it works. It might sound eerily familiar to some of you. The most effective way to get business from your have met group is to place them into something called a 33 touch program. This has been proven to make the odds of an individual completing a real estate transaction with you very, very high, sometimes as high as 80%. However, before someone in your MET group can enter your 33 touch program, you must build a relationship with them, either organically or through something called an 8 in 8 program. I've explained this numerous times in my CCR vlogs on my YouTube channel. The Climate Change Realty 8 in 8 program is the absolute foundation of the entire business and can be an extremely painful yet equally rewarding process. In week 1, I knock on someone's door, and if they answer, I will introduce myself, try to build a connection, show my personality, and see if we can offer each other any value. If not, then in week 1, they immediately exit the program. If I can build even the tiniest bit of rapport with an individual from the cold door knock, then they will enter week 2, which is a handwritten and personalized thank you note mailed out to them approximately 1 week following our initial meeting. Before the release of this video series, weeks 3, 4, and 5 included 3 pieces of mail called the Fun Packet, Investor Packet, and Monthly Newsletter, respectively. Moving forward, these mailers will be constantly redesigned to always offer as much value as possible, but the foundation remains the same. 3 more weeks of mail from the Climate Change Realtor. Typically, week 4 is where individuals begin to reach out to request I stop contacting them. But week 6 is where things get very interesting. In week 6, I will return to the homes of these individuals for a warm door knock to see how they feel about being contacted by me every single week. As you can imagine, this is where most people request I no longer reach out to them on any occasion. Yes, this program is a lot. Yes, it inevitably will put some people off. But other people absolutely love it, and the key guiding factor for a successful lead generation program is to go for sheer volume. So that's what I do. I have 8 groups of 60 to 90 people simultaneously going through this program every single week. What I've found through about 20 groups of 90 people in Boulder, or more than 6,000 doors, is that about 10 to 20% of people wish to never be contacted again. About 20 to 30% of people absolutely love hearing from me, and about 50 to 60% of people are somewhere in between. To me, that makes sense. Hopefully new and improved messaging will increase those positivity numbers. In week 7, I will write another handwritten note, yet again thanking them for their time or saying sorry I missed you if you didn't answer in week 6. Always being sure to wish them well. Because I do wish them well. I wish everybody well. That's just how I am. In the final week of the 8 in 8 program, all of those who I have received no correspondence from, who have refrained from requesting me not to contact them, or who have shown support from what I'm doing, will receive some kind of gift in the mail, thanking them for their support of my business endeavors. The first 15 groups of 90 received a scented candle. This is the third point in time where I evoke enough of a response in the individual to either solidify the bond or have them reach out to request I not contact them anymore. Moving forward, I plan to redesign this touch to provide maximum value, but the candles were a good start. So, as you can see, somewhere between 70 to 80% of people, or about 40 to 80 individuals a week, depending on the size of the group, do not request I stop contacting them. So they will then enter my 33 touch campaign, which will allow me to stay top of mind, so when they are ready to do a real estate transaction, I will be the first agent they think of. Please continue on to part 4 to learn how we structure our organization to not only handle all incoming business, but more importantly, accomplish our mission of creating a business-oriented solution to the most pressing challenges of our time so that future generations can focus on the distinct challenges of their time. Welcome to part 4 of the Climate Change Realty video series, the final section explaining how we are different from every other real estate company and our methods for achieving our mission. This is by far my favorite part, the people. I've tried my best to make this video succinct and digestible, but I really want to give you all a feel for what we're doing here at Climate Change Realty. In the previous section, I explained the core of the lead generation model. I'm guessing you probably don't want to hear about budgeting, and I already spoke finance, so I want to shed some light on the organizational model of the millionaire real estate agent, as well as the powerful addition I'm able to make to the company directly due to the strict limitations I've placed on my personal compensation. The operation of a successful real estate sales team requires the completion of thousands of tasks on an annual basis. Through his decades of experience, Gary Keller was able to simplify the operations of a real estate sales company into 4 rather simple job descriptions.
Chief Executive Officer, Chief Administrative Officer, Chief Listing Specialist, and Chief Buyer Specialist. Chief Executive Officer is tasked with creating the lead generation strategy, recruiting and management, coaching and consulting, as well as meeting with the executive staff. Chief Administrative Officer is tasked with lead generation and systems execution, management of communication systems and financial systems, as well as the management of all other company staff. Chief Listing Specialist is tasked with securing appointments, acquiring listings, weekly seller calls, and negotiating offers. Chief Buyer Specialist is tasked with securing appointments, acquiring buyer agreements, showing and selling property, weekly buyer calls, and negotiating offers. As the company grows, there will be a variety of other positions required underneath these team leaders in order to handle the increased workload, including additional listing specialists, additional buyer specialists, lead coordinator, transaction coordinator, and listings manager, to name a few. Until the foundation of this company, which is the creation of the most well-organized, personalized, and effective real estate sales team, is complete, we cannot move on to the aggressive pursuit of our main objective, which is empowering passionate individuals to create solutions to the most pressing challenges of our time. Until this real estate team is undeniably elite, the donations will just have to do.
As the true visionary that I am most excited about the opportunities that lie beyond the sales team. Using the figures from the previous section, say we indeed close $50 million in sales and are left with $585,000 to cover business expenses and support the overall mission of the company. For simplicity's sake, let's assume before salaries that the cost of doing business are $85,000, leaving $500,000 to pay the sales team. Not including myself, I just mentioned 8 different positions in the company. If all of these positions were paid equally, this would be 8 salaries of $62,500 paid out. But again, for simplicity's sake, and so you can see what I'm getting at, let's pay 6 of the employees $62,500 and 2 of them only $35,000. What this will do is create a buffer of $55,000 for the year. So what will we do with this extra funding? We will create new positions unrelated to real estate sales that are completely dedicated to solving the most pressing issues of our time. Say, for example, we find a hardworking, passionate young entrepreneur whose personal why drives them towards solving the grave problem of mass incarceration of African Americans in the USA, or the problem of preteen addiction to social media, or perhaps even more likely, other climate-related issues like plastic pollution or deforestation. The possibilities are endless. There are currently no companies hiring people to build their own organizations. And I mean hiring, not just investing seed funding in exchange for equity, hiring with no intentions of taking any equity and with full intentions of empowering these individuals to create free market focused and business-oriented solutions to complex problems like the ones I just mentioned. Climate Change Realty will have both the honor of taking away the worry of having to pay the bills and the ability to provide an environment to empower individuals like this to pursue their lives' work and ensure that they are absolutely dedicated to succeeding. We'll create the company that I needed and didn't have. This is the real future of Climate Change Realty, and this is how we're going to achieve our mission, by empowering the brightest up-and-coming minds in the country to pursue their passions without fear. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the absolute best I could do to share my vision with you at this time. I created this video series to succinctly and effectively explain to the world why this company exists, how we plan to achieve our mission, and finally here in part 5 of the video series, what exactly it is we sell to our customers. At Climate Change Realty, we offer our customers representation on the purchase and sale of residential real estate in Boulder, Colorado. Our company charges an unchanging 6% of the final sales price to list and sell your home, with 2.8% of the final sales price paid out to the cooperating agent. Representation on the purchase of a home in Boulder, Colorado is potentially free of charge, under the assumption that Climate Change Realty is paid at least a 2.8% commission fee as the cooperating agent in the transaction. If you are interested in purchasing a home in Boulder, we will use all of the marketing and networking capabilities we're about to describe to assist you with this process. But more importantly, we will listen to you and give you the level of personalized care you desire. If you want to learn more about working with Climate Change Realty to purchase a home in Boulder, by all means, reach out to me and we'll set up a time for you to talk and me to listen. Alright, so the remainder of this video will explain what we will do to market and sell your home. The marketing plan I'm about to explain to you was actually piloted by Coldwell Banker Residential Brokerage here in Colorado following the Great Recession. This marketing system was so effective at selling homes that it has become the Coldwell Banker modern standard nationwide. With more than $17 billion in sales in 2019 and a 25% market share of luxury home sales, with the powerful partnership of Coldwell Banker, we do it right here at Climate Change Realty. Marketing in real estate is all about inducing an emotional response in the buyer and creating a very personal connection to your home. Our marketing objective is to make sure your home gets as much exposure as possible, and the key to all of this is professional photography. We will enlist the services of the best real estate photographer in our area to take poised and magazine-grade photos of your home. This will allow every piece of the marketing puzzle to fit together moving forward. With these photos, we will create an amazing physical brochure outlining all the very best details of your home. It's colorful, super informative, eye-drawing, and emotion-inducing. Beyond the physical brochure, we're going to create a single property website that can be shared all over the internet and allow buyers from anywhere around the world the ability to interact with your home without being physically present. Coldwell Banker is the #1 most viewed real estate brand online. And with 93% of all buyers beginning their home search online and 50% of all home buyers finding the home they eventually purchase online, this gives us a strong competitive advantage. Now, there's more than 1.8 billion daily active users on Facebook. Trust me, I'm very aware of the power of social media. And Coldwell Banker has more than 500,000 followers on its various platforms across social media. Needless to say, your home will be shared accordingly. Beyond this, I will of course use my personal social media presence to market your home to everyone I know. And with this being said, the strongest differentiating factor between Climate Change Realty and all other Boulder real estate brokers is our network. Whether they would like to or not, people in Boulder know me. Past clients, current clients, future clients, I'm going to notify everyone that your home is for sale. In this day and age, the average degree of separation between everyone in the USA has shrunk to as little as 3.5 people, so the right buyer is not far. Especially as you keep in mind that my database grows by at least 40 to 60 people per week, every week. Climate Change Realty easily maintains the most powerful real estate sales network in Boulder, no question. Expired listings means not only the loss of thousands of dollars in potential donations and support for future visionaries, but also something much worse, loss of credibility. To truly be the most innovative real estate corporation in the world, we must do what we say we're going to do. So that means we will do whatever it takes to sell your home. It just might take some time and some creativity. So one thing that is unique to Coldwell Banker is that they actually have their own TV show, which airs on Channel 2 right around 10 a.m. I'm going to produce a 20 to 40 second TV spot outlining all the very best features of your home. The more exposure, the better. You never know who's watching. In addition to the brochure discussed earlier, I will also be creating a tri-fold property brochure to be sent out to 100 of your closest neighbors, letting them know that your home is on the market. It's sent out in a beautiful silver envelope and is one of the best ways to fire up the neighborhood and let them know that your home is ready to sell. Of course, there's also the classic sign in the yard, which will let everyone who walks by know that your home is for sale, and for sale with the most innovative real estate broker in the country to boot. Can't forget that your home will also be listed on Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com, and syndicated to as many as 700 more real estate websites. If there's anything else we can do to market your home, please let us know. Oh wait, there is. Your home's going to have a 1/6 of a page ad in 5280 magazine, which has more than 100,000 monthly subscribers who actually read it every month. The main reason why for sale by owners fail to sell is their lack of access to the multiple listing service. This gives us exposure to every single realtor in Colorado and allows us to add a virtual tour to the listing so buyers can get a great feel for your home. It's commonplace for buyer's agents to be compensated just like listing agents, so it's absolutely essential your home gets on the MLS so all qualified buyers and their fiduciaries can see your home. If your home isn't on the MLS, it's possible their agent may never bring them to see it. In these COVID times, virtual viewing capabilities are more important than ever. That's why here at Climate Change Realty, we will include a state-of-the-art 3D Matterport tour, which creates a 3D model of your home and allows the buyer to click through a 360-degree tour of the entire property. You should check one of these out. They're pretty cool, allowing you to see the home from every single angle. This is the future of real estate showings, and Climate Change Realty is happy to include this service in its marketing package. I hope it is clear now why we choose to utilize the Coldwell Banker exclusive marketing program, and that we are well equipped to facilitate a successful sale of your Boulder home. If you would like to hear more about the process and personalized experience we offer when selling your home, or you'd like a comparative market analysis and valuation of your property, please reach out to us today.
Hey everyone, it's me here, the man behind the suit and the script and the persuasion and all the editing and everything you just saw. I just want to give a really big shout out and a thank you to anyone who actually sat through all 5 parts of this film. It took me a really long time. I've been working my ass off all year, really trying to get this company off the ground, and I just want to say I really appreciate you guys for, even if you don't list with Climate Change Realty, you have a broker that you know, just giving me the time, giving me the thumbs up, liking, sharing, writing a comment of support, or even just giving the time and not even doing anything. I really appreciate you guys. It's a really fun process, and yeah, you guys know you can always email me at ethan@ccrboulder.com or 201-961-2165. Got the Jersey phone number. So I think that's pretty much it. That's the end of my big 20, 30 minute listing presentation, and we'll be back next year with another film.